I don't really know what I'm doing yet. Hi book lovers, I'm Trina, and today I thought I would do a tag, but I couldn't find one out there that really expressed the things I wanted to talk about, so I made one up. I know you're probably thinking, this girl just joined BookTube yesterday. Who does she think she is making up an original tag already? There is a newbie tag out there by YouTuber Brenda C. I'll link that down below. But I didn't think I had a good answer for all of those questions, and it wasn't really enough questions for me. And I know there's a TMI tag on YouTube as well, but that one had too many questions. Some things were just not relevant to booktubing. So I kind of came up with a list of my own questions, things that I want to talk about, and things that I would love to hear from my favorite booktubers. Question 1 is, where are you joining us from? I am from Nashville, Tennessee. Number 2, how old are you? I am 29, and I think that's a relevant question because I will be mostly talking about young adult books. Number 3, why did you join BookTube? I like to make goals for myself, and one goal that I was going to put on my 2015 list was to kind of branch out and do something a little bit different than I'm used to. Since I've been watching a lot of book channels on YouTube, this was just the next area that I wanted to try. Number 4, what is the meaning behind your channel name? My channel name is Between Chapters. I've been using that name for a personal blog for about 3 or 4 years now. I had chosen that name for my blog because I felt that it appropriately described where I was in life, sort of between the chapters of life, the big milestones such as getting married or having kids. I had gotten out of that brand new newlywed phase, but we aren't new parents yet, so I'm kind of in between. And it's also just a play on the fact that I love to read. Next question is, what types of books do you read or want to talk about here? Like I said, I read mainly young adult books, a lot of fantasy, a lot of series. Who are some of your favorite authors? Some of my go-to favorite authors right now have been Sarah J. Maas, Lauren Oliver, and Gail Forman. But that certainly is not a complete list. The next question is, what's the last book you read? The book that I most recently finished was In a Handful of Dust by Mindy McGinnis. And I've already filmed a review of this and I will have that up soon. Next question, what are you currently reading? I'm currently reading 2 books. I just started My True Love Gave to Me, which is a collection of short stories that are holiday themed, and it's put together by Stephanie Perkins. There are 12 different authors and 12 stories here, and I've previously read books by 8 of those authors, so I knew I had to get my hands on this. So far, I have only read the first story, which was by Rainbow Rowell, and I loved it. And I'm really hoping I get to finish it before the end of the year, since it is holiday themed. I'm also currently reading City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. This is the final book in the Mortal Instruments series. I'm about 160 pages in and I'm gripped. So far, I've been gripped the most by this book than any other book in this series. This next question is kind of quirky, but I'm into it. It is, what do you use for bookmarks? So in these 2 books right now, I am using bookmarks that I made. This one is just some scrapbooking paper that I put together. And this one is a Little Mermaid. This was from a box of Easter candy, and I decided I love Ariel, so I'm going to cut that out, keep it. I rounded the corners and made it into a bookmark. Next is, show us your current TBR pile. So this is my current TBR stack or pile. I have 3 library books right now. I've got a new series, The Perfectionists by Sarah Shepard. I've got 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. And I have Atlantia by Ali CONDIE. I really liked her MASH series. Then over here, this stack is books that I own. I've got Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. This is the first book. I've been meaning to read it for like 3 years now, so I really need to get around to it. Then I have the last 3 books in the Sookie Stackhouse or the Southern Vampire Mysteries series by Charlaine Harris. I've been reading that series for a long time and just haven't gotten around to those final 3 books yet. Next I've got the Darkest Minds trilogy. I actually won those in a giveaway, but I've been looking forward to reading them for a really long time, so I can't wait to get to those. And lastly, I've got 2 books in another Sarah Shepard series. This is her Lion Game series. I've got the 3rd and 4th book, Hide and Seek and Two Truths and a Lie. I don't know what order those come in. I had read the first 2 books in that series about 4 years ago, and then I bought these 2, and I guess my interest kind of faded, but I really do need to finish them. And after those, there are 2 more books in that series, which I don't own. Next question is, do you prefer hardback or paperback books? Do you prefer ebooks or physical books? And do you prefer owning or borrowing books? I like to own hardbacks. If I'm going to own a collection, I want them to look nice and match. I think that the hardbacks definitely hold up a lot better for me. As far as ebooks or physical books definitely. I do have a Kindle and I do use it when it's just easier to get a hold of a book that way, but by far I like to hold the actual book in my hands. And of course I love owning books, but I've got bills to pay and I have an amazing library system, so probably like 85 to 95% of the books I read are from the library. Next is, what book or series got you into reading? I've been reading since I was a kid, so some of the middle grade books that I could mention would be Nancy Drew or Goosebumps. The series that I credit all the time for my teenage years of reading is definitely The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. My dad got me a boxed set of that when I was 15 because he had read that series when he was 15 and he wanted to pass it on to me. Once I was out of school, I discovered the Tudor series by Philippa Gregory, and the first book I read in that series was The Other Boleyn Girl. I absolutely fell in love with that time period in the court, and I read so many books about King Henry VIII's wives. Then in my early 20s, I discovered Twilight. Yes, I read them as an adult. I did not read them when they first came out, but the movies weren't out yet. And I know there are a lot of differing opinions out there about Twilight, but when I read them, those books sucked me in, man. They really made me feel exactly how I had felt when I had been that age. And Twilight is really the series that opened up the world of young adult books to me. They made reading fun, and I discovered so many new authors, and I've been reading non-stop ever since. Next question I put on here is, how did you discover BookTube? My friend Holly sent me a link to one of Christine Ricciot's book talks. It was for The Elite, book number 2 in the Selection series. It's the first video book review I really remember seeing, and it took me a little time to get used to, but then I was just absolutely hooked. Next question is, what challenges do you think you will face with your own BookTube channel? I'm definitely an introvert, so I think the social aspect of things will definitely be a challenge. I also don't know how well I'll adjust to the technical side of things, like my equipment and editing software. And another thing I kind of fear is, will my reading slow down? Last question is, where else can we find you? Link up. I haven't decided yet if I want to take my personal accounts over to a public account or deal with starting a whole new account, but I will link down below what I have. So that's it for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed these questions. I hope that helped you get to know me a little bit. Not that I think this sort of tag will take off or anything, but if you want to do it yourself, please feel free to. And if you want to subscribe, please do, so I know that I'm not just talking to a wall. I'll see you between chapters. No.